Hey, Aaron here with Superior Singing Method, and this is top singing mistakes and how to avoid them. This is part one. We're going to talk about voice cracks and breaks. Now, before I jump into the content, toward the end of this video, I'm gonna talk a little bit about this giveaway. I'm giving away some courses once we get to a certain thing, and there's some other just fun things I want to tell you about that I think are going to help your singing. But just wanted to let you know that's going to be toward the end. But let's jump right in. Now, what I find is that maybe most people aren't willing to invest time in their singing, right? Maybe a little time here or there. Obviously, you're watching this video, so that already sets you apart from most people and what most people are willing to do. They're like, I can either sing or I can't sing, and that's what it is, which seems crazy to me because people think that about acting too. I do a lot of acting these days, and they're just like, well, either you can act or you can't act, you know. And I'm just like, would you say that about like playing guitar? Well, either you could play guitar or you can't play guitar. Either you could paint or sculpt or you can't. Of course it does. It sounds comical when you think of other art disciplines, but for some reason with singing and acting, some people think that. So I commend you for just taking the time to do this. So anyway, a lot of singing and a lot of like this vocal cracks and breaks, it's going to have to do with, are you willing to take some regular time to invest in your voice? And obviously you are. So now this is the first in the series, this vocal cracks and breaks. And the first thing that I say with people who are struggling with that, and I'm talking about, it's like you just, and your voice will just kind of like give out sometimes. A lot of times it's in between your registers, your chest and your head voice. Like, I'm speaking my chest voice and this is my head voice, and it's in between those two registers a lot of times that people are their muscles are weak in there, their vocal muscles are weak in there, and that's where cracks and breaks come from. So one thing that's going to really help, I'm actually going to give you a really great exercise that's going to help blend all your cracks and breaks area with your different registers, but also just doing regular vocal exercises every day. Like Superior Singing Method, my course, it has a bunch of that, but any just daily vocal exercise is going to help you with those muscles, because what's happening with cracks and breaks most of the time is that, especially let's say it's between the chest voice and the head voice, you don't need to know these terms, these don't matter, but I like to give you some little background of what's happening. I feel like it helps learn, because there are two different, when people have a problem with their singing, there's two different ways to help them. The first one is to show them how to sing, like kind of what's going on, and the other one is these vocal exercises. So I like you to know a little bit of the how of what's going on, and then of course give you the exercise. So I'm hitting it from both angles. So what's happening with the cracks and the breaks oftentimes is that in between your two registers, it's two muscles that are actually pulling against each other when you go like right in that area. It's two muscles that are pulling against each other, and if one or both are weak, that's when the crack comes, like goes to one side or the other, your voice cracks. And we want to strengthen those muscles. It's just like any other muscle in the body. You just strengthen these muscles. So I'm going to teach you how to strengthen the muscles so that doesn't happen anymore. It's very common. There's nothing wrong with you. Voices crack and break all the time because, like I said, a lot of people aren't willing to invest in the time and the consistency of building those muscles, and so they're going to suffer the consequences, and that's going to be possibly an embarrassing moment. I was in a singing group when I was 17, and we were touring all over the U.S., and I got this coveted solo. I've told this story before, so you can just fast forward if you heard it, but I was really wanted this solo, but the note was just like a little bit too high for me, but I was like, no problem, I'm just gonna blast it out, it'll be fine. And so when I got up there on stage in front of however many people and the producers in the back, and I was just like saying it, when I got there I was just like, I'm just gonna belt it out, and I belted it out, and it was just like, my voice just went like my vocal cords just like felt like they folded. It was just like it was like this sound. It was so, but anyway, you don't want to experience that. I don't ever want to experience that again. It was traumatic. So here's the exercise that is going to help. Now, genetically, some people are tongue rollers and some people are not tongue rollers. I don't know if you know this. I didn't realize that because tongue rolling, you know what I mean? Like rolling your tongue. See if you can roll your tongue right now. Because some of you can, and you're just like, yeah, why wouldn't I be able to? And others of you are like, I can't do that. It literally is a genetic disposition that some people can and some people can't. So I'm saying all this because this exercise, one part of it is rolling the tongue to do it, but I'm going to give you, if you can't roll your tongue, there's nothing wrong with you. It's like I have brown eyes versus blue eyes. It's not like a big deal. So, but roll your tongue if you can, and do this. Ooh. If you can't roll your tongue, no problem. Just grab a hold of your tongue, right? And hold it out and go. Ooh. Same thing, no problem. So here's what's happening while we're doing that. It's like, well, that's easy, that's dumb. Like, is that really helping? What's happening with the tongue roll and with that, we're shaping the mouth and the throat in such a way that it's keeping the vocal cords closed and protected at the same time. So anywhere that there would be a crack or a break, it's going to help smooth that out. So as you do that, it's going to build the muscles all up and down that whole area so that you don't have that cracking and breaking problem. So I would say with this, the ooh, or with the other one, do it for, to start out with, do it for 30 seconds or a minute to start out with. Do that daily. If you did it daily for a minute, after about a week, I'm sure you would notice a big difference in your voice. And let me know. Put it in the comments below. So try that out. Here's what this may not be your number one singing killer, the voice cracks and breaks. There may be one that you have that's not exactly this, or and some people have 2 or 3, maybe 4 different ones. If you click the link below, I actually have a quiz to help you find out what your personal specific number one singing killer is, and then once you find out what yours is, I will know what that is, because that's how technology works. And I'll send you a free video that's specifically tailored to your number one singing killer. So if you click the link below, take my quiz to find out what your number one singing killer is if it doesn't happen to be this. Also, what I'm really excited about is that we're almost at 600,000 subscribers. That's kind of our next goal. And once we hit 600,000 subscribers, we're going to give away 6 superior singing method programs. And so if you'd like to be part of that, more details and more information later, but start by subscribing. Subscribe to the channel if you've been watching these videos, or maybe it's the first one you've watched. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and also hit the notification bell. And I've been kind of obsessed with the notification bell recently, because it's a choice to say, this is the type of content I'm committed to being a singer, and I'm committed to the content that's going to help me become a better singer. And I want to be notified by things that are important to me, because what we focus on grows, right? So if we focus on all these other things that are just like shiny and attractive, and all these things that are immediate but aren't necessarily leading toward our dreams, then our life is just going to be focused on a lot of different things, and it won't be laser focused on the things we really want. But by hitting the notification bell and learning more about singing, you're saying, I want to focus on something because I want something to grow, because there's a certain person that I want to become. And so that's why, hit the notification bell. It says something. And on that idea of commitment, I'm just big on commitment. Like, when we commit to something, we can become the things that we want to become. It's not about, was I born with talent, or was I born with whatever privilege or whatever. It is very often, and of course there's different privileges with different things. I'm not saying privilege doesn't exist. It exists in a million different ways. I'm not saying that. But what is tried and true is that with singing, if you do the work and you build your voice and build these muscles, you can become a really great singer, period, no matter what your situation is right now. I find that a lot of people with this idea of like consistency, they think, well, no, I'm too lazy, or I'm undisciplined, or something like that. But none of that is true, because a lot of times when we feel like we're lazy, it's actually it's fear that's driving us. So there's something inside of us telling us that it's not possible. And so instead of what looks like laziness and not unmotivation is actually a fear of, it's not going to work anyway, so I'm just not going to step up or step out. But I don't want that for you, because it's not the case. It's just a lie that you're not good enough. You are good enough. And part of watching this, you've watched this far, and part of doing these exercises is a step in the direction. It's a vote toward, I am good enough. This is possible. I can reach these dreams, because I believe that's true for you. With all my heart, I believe that. I wouldn't be doing this, right? This is just a free video, you know? So I want you to reach your dreams. So there's that. One thing that might help, I can't remember if I said this, but as far as this commitment thing, in the comments below, just write I'm in. If you're committed to this, make like a declaration, because declarations are actually really powerful. What we say, the brain automatically wants to make come true. So just I'm in. I'm committed to this singing thing, and I'm going to become a great singer, because it's super possible. So anyway, thank you for watching. I hope this has been helpful. Click the link below for that quiz, notification bell, like the video if you liked the video, and I'll see you next time around.